I'm 83 years old, and my son has been dead for 4 years now. His name was Michael. He died at 54. Cancer took him in 6 months, start to finish. And in all those years, all 54 of them, I never once told him I was proud of him. Not once. I thought about it. God, I thought about it so many times. The words were right there, sitting in my throat, waiting to come out, but I never said them. And now he's gone, and I can't. That's what I live with now. Not grief, exactly. Grief softens over time. This doesn't soften. It just sits there, quiet and heavy, reminding me every single day of what I didn't do. People don't understand that kind of regret. They think regret is about the big mistakes, the affairs, the bankruptcies, the blow-ups, but those aren't the ones that haunt you. It's the small things, the things you didn't say, the moments you let pass because you thought there'd be another chance. I grew up in a house where men didn't say things like, "I'm proud of you." My father never said it to me. His father never said it to him. You showed love by working hard, by putting food on the table, by being there. That was enough. Or so I thought.
When Michael was born, I was 29. I worked in a factory, making decent money but working long shifts. My wife stayed home with him those first few years. I'd come home late and he'd already be asleep. She'd tell me what he did that day, smiled at her, grabbed his toes, made a funny sound, and I'd nod, exhausted, thinking I'd see it tomorrow. But tomorrow I was working again. He grew up fast. That's what everyone says, but it's true. One day you're holding this tiny thing in your arms, and the next he's walking, then talking, then running out the door to play with his friends. I went to some of his baseball games, not all of them, maybe half. Work was always busy. There was always something that needed to be done, some reason I couldn't leave early. He'd look for me in the stands before every at-bat. I saw him do it, that quick scan of the bleachers, searching. And when I wasn't there, he'd adjust his helmet and step up to the plate like it didn't matter. But I knew it mattered. And I told myself he understood. He knew I was working. He knew I was doing it for him, for the family. He'd get it when he was older. When he made varsity as a sophomore, I felt something swell up in my chest. Pride, real pride. He was good. The coach said he had a future in it if he kept working. I remember sitting at dinner that night, listening to him talk about practice, and I wanted to say it. I wanted to tell him I was proud. But what came out was, "That's good, keep working hard." Like what he'd already done wasn't enough, like he had to earn it. What was I waiting for? He went to college a few hours away, played ball for 2 years, then quit, said he wanted to focus on school. I thought he was making a mistake. Baseball was his thing. What did he have without it? I didn't tell him I was proud of him for sticking with his degree. I said, "You sure about this?" He said he was, and that was that. After college, he got a job in sales, moved to another city, met a woman, got married. I went to the wedding, shook hands with strangers, gave a short toast about how happy we were for them. I didn't tell him I was proud. I thought there'd be time. That's the thing no one tells you. You think you have all the time in the world. You think there'll be another dinner, another phone call, another visit. You think, "I'll say it next time." But next time doesn't always come. He had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. I became a grandfather, saw them on holidays, maybe a few weekends a year. He'd call sometimes. We'd talk about work, the weather, how the kids were doing, normal stuff, safe stuff. And every time I'd feel it rising in my chest, the words, right there. But I'd think, it'll sound weird. We don't talk like that. He'll think something's wrong. So I'd say, "That's great, son. Good for you." And we'd hang up. My wife used to tell me I should say it, After visits, after he'd leave, she'd look at me and say, "You should tell him you're proud of him." And I'd say, "He knows." She'd give me this look, like she wanted to say more but didn't. And I'd tell myself it was fine. Of course he knew. I was his father. I showed up when I could. I helped him when he needed it. I was there. That was love, wasn't it? But the truth is, I don't know if he knew. Because if I have to wonder, then maybe he wondered too. The years kept passing. He got promoted at work. His kids grew, started school, joined sports teams, normal life things. We'd talk on the phone every few weeks. Sometimes he'd mention something good that happened, a big sale he closed, a project he finished, his daughter making the honor roll. And I'd feel it again, that warmth in my chest, that pride. But all I'd say was, "That's good, real good," like I was commenting on the weather. I don't know why I couldn't just say it. Maybe I thought it would make me seem soft. Maybe I thought it wasn't necessary because he was doing fine without hearing it. Maybe I was just a coward. Probably that last one. My wife died when Michael was 42. Heart attack, quick. She was there one morning, gone by afternoon. He drove up for the funeral, stayed a few days, helped me sort through her things, made calls, handled details I couldn't focus on. He was good to me, patient, didn't rush me. And I remember one night sitting in the kitchen after everyone else had left, just the two of us. He made coffee. We sat there in silence for a while. He said, "You doing okay, Dad?" And I said, "I'll manage." That was it. That was all I gave him. He looked at me like he wanted to say something else, but he didn't. Just nodded and sipped his coffee. I should have told him then. Should have said, "I'm proud of you, for the man you've become, for how you've handled all this, for being here." But I didn't. I went back to staring at my coffee cup. After my wife died, Michael called more often. Once a week, sometimes twice. Just checking in, asking how I was doing, telling me about the kids. Those calls meant everything to me, but I never told him that either. I'd just say, "I'm fine, you don't need to keep calling," like I didn't want him to. Like I didn't sit by the phone on Sundays waiting for it to ring. When he was 53, he called on a Tuesday. I remember because I was fixing the fence out back and almost didn't answer. But I did. He said he'd been feeling tired. Went to the doctor. They found something. Pancreatic cancer. Stage 4. I don't remember what I said. Something useless, like, "We'll figure this out." He said they'd start treatment, but the doctor wasn't optimistic. Said it was aggressive, said it had spread. I told him to stay strong, to fight. The things you say when you don't know what else to say. The next 6 months were the worst of my life. Worse than losing my wife, because this time I knew it was coming. I could see it happening day by day, and I couldn't stop it. He went through chemo, lost his hair, lost weight. His skin turned gray, but he kept working as long as he could. Said he didn't want to just sit around waiting. I visited when I could, sat with him while he rested, brought groceries for his wife, played with the grandkids in the yard, trying to keep things normal for them. But inside, I was screaming because I knew time was running out. I knew this was it, and I still hadn't said it. I'd sit beside his bed while he slept, and I'd practice it in my head. "I'm proud of you, son. I'm so proud of you." It should have been easy. 3 words, 4 if you count his name. But when he'd wake up, we'd talk about other things, the weather, the news, something one of the kids did at school, and the moment would pass. I told myself I'd say it next time, when he was feeling better, when the moment was right. but he kept getting worse. His wife called me one night, said he'd been admitted to the hospital, said I should come. I drove there at midnight, sat with him until morning. He was barely conscious. The machines were breathing for him. I held his hand. It was so thin I could feel every bone. And I tried to say it. I opened my mouth. The words were right there. But nothing came out. I just sat there, holding his hand, crying silently like a fool. He died 2 days later, Sunday morning. I wasn't there. I'd gone home to shower, to change clothes. His wife said she'd call if anything changed. She called 20 minutes after I left. By the time I got back to the hospital, he was gone. I stood in that room looking at him, and all I could think was, I never said it. 54 years, and I never said it. The funeral was big. Lots of people came. Friends from work, neighbors, people I didn't know. They all said kind things about him. Said he was generous, said he was funny, said they made them feel seen. And I stood there thinking, did I ever make him feel seen? Did he know? Did he really know? I don't think he did, because if I had to wonder, then he probably wondered too. And that's what I can't forgive myself for. Not that I wasn't perfect, not that I worked too much or missed too many games, but that I let him live his whole life without hearing the one thing every son needs to hear from his father, that I was proud of him. Not for what he accomplished, not for the job or the house or the grandkids, just for being him, for being kind, for being steady, for showing up when it mattered, for being a better man than I ever was. I think about him every day. Not in the way you think about someone you miss. It's deeper than that, heavier. I wake up and he's the first thing on my mind. I go to bed and he's the last. And in between, I replay it all. Every missed opportunity, every moment I could have said something and didn't. It's been 4 years and it hasn't gotten easier. People tell me it will. They say time heals. They say I need to forgive myself. But how do you forgive yourself for something like this? How do you let go of the fact that you had 54 years and you couldn't manage to say 3 words? I talk to him sometimes, out loud when I'm alone. I tell him all the things I should have said. I tell him I'm proud. I tell him I'm sorry. I tell him I loved him more than I knew how to show. But he's not here to hear it. And that's the part that stays with me. Not the grief exactly. Grief fades. It softens around the edges. You learn to live with it. But regret doesn't fade. Regret is sharp. It doesn't dull with time. It just sits there, right under your ribs, reminding you every single day of what you didn't do. I see my grandkids now, his kids. They're teenagers. And I tell them I'm proud of them. All the time, for everything. For good grades, for bad grades, for trying, for failing, for just showing up. And they smile, they say thank you. Sometimes they roll their eyes because I say it so much. But I don't care, because I know what it's like to not hear it, and I won't do that to them. His daughter looks like him. Same eyes, same smile. Sometimes when she laughs, I hear him, and it breaks me all over again. Because he should be here. He should be the one telling her he's proud, not me. But he's not here, and that's my fault. Not his death. I couldn't control that. But the silence, that was all me. I had every chance, every single day for 54 years, and I chose silence. I chose to assume he knew, to tell myself it didn't need to be said, to convince myself that showing up was enough. But it wasn't enough. Because love isn't just about being there. It's about saying it out loud, so there's no question, so the person you love doesn't have to wonder, so they don't spend their life looking for validation you never gave them. I know what people will say. They'll say I'm being too hard on myself, that he knew I loved him, that actions speak louder than words. Maybe, but I'll never know for sure. And that's what haunts me. Not knowing if he felt it, not knowing if he went through life feeling like he was enough, because I never told him he was. I'm 83 years old now. I don't have much time left. Maybe a few years, maybe less. My health isn't great. My heart's weak. My joints ache. I get tired easily. And I know that when my time comes, this is what I'll be thinking about. Not my career, not the house I bought, not the things I accumulated. I'll be thinking about him, about the silence, about what I didn't say. I won't be thinking about my successes. I'll be thinking about my failure, the one that mattered most. If you're listening to this and you have someone in your life, your son, your daughter, your parent, your friend, someone you're proud of, someone you love, someone who matters, don't wait. Don't assume they know. Don't tell yourself there'll be time, because one day there won't be. And you'll be standing where I am now, wishing you could go back, wishing you'd said it when it mattered, when they could still hear you. But you can't go back. Time doesn't work that way. So say it now. Say it today. Say it before it's too late. Not because it's easy, not because the moment feels right, but because they need to hear it. Because everyone needs to hear it. We all need to know that we mattered, that we were seen, that someone was proud of us, not for what we achieved, not for what we earned or built or won, just for being who we are. I never gave my son that, and I'll carry that for the rest of my life, however long that is. I see his picture on the wall sometimes. There's one from his wedding. He's smiling. He looks happy. I wonder if he was. I wonder if he felt loved. I wonder if he knew. And I'll never have the answer. That's what I live with. That's what keeps me up at night. Not the cancer, not the funeral, not even the grief. It's the wondering, the not knowing, the silence that I chose. I'm telling you this because I don't want you to end up here. I don't want you to be 83 years old, sitting alone, talking to a picture on the wall, saying all the things you should have said decades ago. I don't want you to wonder. I want you to know. And the only way to know is to say it out loud while there's still time. So if there's someone in your life right now, someone you're proud of, tell them. Don't wait for the right moment. Don't wait until they do something big. Tell them now. Tell them today, because tomorrow isn't promised. And one day, tomorrow won't come. I learned that the hard way. Don't make the same mistake I did. My son's name was Michael. He was 54 when he died, and I never told him I was proud of him, not once. That's my story. That's my regret, and I'll carry it with me until the day I die, however long that is.